one of the first things that we came up with was a headset. We've got a headset that basically gives you feedback about various things. It's it kind of one thing it will do is receive signals from lasers across the actual lane to give you an indication of, as it trips each laser, how far left or right you are. Well, have you got exactly the same thing?
You know, it's a good idea then.
Yeah, oh, exactly. So, and I don't know whether, I mean, I was wondering whether it depending on the pitch of it, it tells you whether you're too far left. So if it's a low pitch, then you're left.
Yeah, well, we've used it for different things.
Oh, right, okay, in that case, that's fine.
Yeah, because a lot of the fun for sighted bowlers is watching it going down the alley and going, oh, is it going to go to the gutter, is it not? So just having that auditory feedback, so you know if it's just like a bleep or the pitch gets louder as it's getting nearer to the gutter. That'd be good. So it'd be quite nice if you got a bit of a spin on the ball as well. Yeah, like a beep, 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 beep,
so you can develop a technique.
That's really good.
Technique.
You can start off with an idea of how well you're doing and then kind of adjust it, hopefully. Another thing the headset does is tells you how close you are to the bar that's kind of the bit that if you walk over it, you failed, basically. So
do you envision that the able-bodied, people with full sight would also use the headset?
No, but they might be there might be an element of jealousy and of thinking these other people are getting this feedback. So the other thing that you get once you've shot the ball and it's knocked down the pins, it says, okay, you've knocked 8 pins. You've got pins 1, 5 and 7 remaining.
Yeah.
So it tells you how many pins you've got left, which is actually more than you can sometimes see if you're sighted, because sometimes you can't see one pin if it's behind another. Another thing and something Kevin was saying was that you could go back to the display and actually there would be like a braille pop-up thing, so you could lay your hand on a display and it would pop up the pins that are remaining on the actual lane. It's quite a lot to build into the system, I guess. And the other thing is that you'd actually get that information from other people. So if your mate's taking a shot, you can tell how much theirs is curving. So when everybody else is watching, going, "Oh, he's going to get a strike," then you can pick up that as well.
So information that you would share normally,
yeah,
everyone with a headset would get it. So if you went to the party,
yeah,
they would all
basically.
Oh, it's his shot. Oh, it's close. Oh, yeah, he's in the guts.
Yeah, that's really
good. Did we decide? We have this for the foul textured area. Just trying to use the senses more, the touch more than the auditory there. But so if you're over, it looks really big on here, but I think we decided it could be really thin too.
Yeah,
and
it's just a bit of a safety feature as well, because we all know how much it hurts if you step onto that polished surface and crack your head open. So, having something raised or having something there which is textured, so you can actually feel it underfoot, would be really good.
I think the most important thing was that they knew where to aim. So we had the idea that they're good at hearing, so we'd have a beeper. You can hear exactly where it is.
That beeper would only come on when you actually get into the area where you actually throw the ball.
So there's a pressure sensitive thing there. So that's to basically judge the distance really more than anything. Because obviously the distance, when you bowl, it's going to make a difference to kind of where you're aiming. So to figure out actually which pins are down and which are up, we had a similar idea to you guys, like a kind of a braille panel there with some pins on, so if the pin's up, the pin's up, and if it's down, it's down. On the left or the right, so depending on which ball you have, which hand you've got the ball, you can use the other side to suss that out. What else, guys?
Yeah, well, for the actual trying to show the scores, what we did is you used it's kind of like a screen reader, but it's actually a resin screen, so it actually dynamically changes the actual screen depending on the names and the scores, so it can dynamically change.
So it's like a textured.
Yeah, but it does on top of the actual text scores.
Off a real screen as well.
And also for the current score, when someone's actually bowling, it will just audio will just tell you over the speakers as well.
Do you say kind of like rails to kind of guide you in, so you can sort of feel your way, what's where the banner is? Yeah. So ours seems kind of lo-fi really compared to yours, apart from our dynamic resin screen reader.
So you'd be introduced when you get in there, so there'd be a member of staff that would obviously welcome any guest.
And just
if you've got a
desk
disability.
is to your right.
And that's it. And there'd be, it should make it clear, or that there'd be a rail system in place which you could quite easily follow, which will lead you straight into the main desk.
So we've already been we've been welcomed in, and we've been said we're not being like guided. So it's not it's in case there's a guide to your right to follow. So you follow that around, and that takes you around to the desk, and someone serves you. And during the serving process, they ask for your name and your details and things like that, and they give you your ticket is a smart card.
And your preference if you want.
And your preferences. So like if you want the barriers or not, and it's on a smart card. And you follow the barrier around, and they'll tell you when you give you the ticket that you're the third lane, and you know at the break of the lane that that's one.
Well, the back of the ticket would have a little map on.
In Braille.
In Braille, which they could feel, so they'll have a little bit of rules and guidance on the ticket as well. So from going from the desk, they'll know where certain things are according to what's on the back of the ticket, and like Ian said, they'll be able to follow the divides and the rail to indicate what lane they're suggested that, and the lane would also be, they've already told them what lane they're on, it will be on the card.
So you sit down and you push you have several slots, like 4 slots, there's only 4 players, for your smart card.
Right.
That holds your preference, and that preferences changes whenever it's your turn. So if you want the barrier up, this is an extension of what existing is. When you join a bowling alley, the whole alley has to have your same preferences. So when it's your turn, the barrier comes up, and then if your mates don't want to use it, the barriers go down, so you don't have the lanes they've got.
So it's preferences by player, not by group.
So you put the thing in, and then you have a headset on, and then everyone does the same thing. So all your headsets on, and also your name and stuff is automatically taken from the smart card. You start the game, but with an intro. So the intro would cover
the rules of the game, and also where if you needed any assistance, and that's not just for the game, that's also snacks and food, because there's other things in the bowling as well. And following on from food and drink, we also worked out like how a table system could work if those drinks get sent to the.
Now this was this is beyond what you could also use for a thing. You explain.
Well, I was thinking is because when you wander up, you come back, you don't know where you put your drink. So I was thinking is, you know how you have cup holders in cars? Well, in the table you have a ring of cup holders embedded into the table, and they're all numbered, so you can have like the Braille 1 on it. Yeah. So when you come back, you know that's your drink because it's in its cup holder, and you can't knock it over either. Yeah. What I'm thinking is that you could have Braille on the ball, like what size and weight it is, because you'll have your favourite ball and things. Well, so you can feel on the ball where it is. So then you know.
And it could have also been the fingerprints as well, because most of the barrel is felt by one finger. It's not like you're using several fingers to feel it. It could be in the ball dents, so that
you stick your
finger in and you can feel it already.
An idea that on there could be a guide in Braille telling you the layout of the pins, so you know where they are, and that when you've knocked one of them down, the headset tells you what you've knocked down. So and the pins are numbered, so they go, you've knocked down, pin 1 or 2 and things. And if you want to know your score, you say score into the headpiece and it tells you your score.